Are you hurting for more local customers and local foot traffic in your business, maybe on your social media page or your website? In this video, we're going to be talking about how to build local brand awareness, how to get more local followers on social media, how to generate more local foot traffic on your website, and inevitably get more local customers for your business. A lot of small businesses, when they start up, just think that they're going to be discovered magically because they have a social media account and they're posting on it, or they have a TikTok account and they're posting on it, and it's inevitably going to lead to lots of customers and lots of sales, and it just doesn't really work that way all of the time. Just because you have an Instagram account, or just because you have a TikTok account, or whatever it is that you are doing as a small business, now that you've started your company and you're hoping for customers, it doesn't necessarily guarantee that you're going to get local customers and local followers and local brand awareness. On Instagram alone, there are over 2 billion users, and that is worldwide. So at any given point, you could be posting on social media and gain a follower from anywhere in the world. And the same goes for TikTok. And so we want to use these tips to kind of refine who is seeing your content and who is aware that you exist as a company. And not that generating brand awareness worldwide is bad, it's just not going to get those people to walk in the doors of your store. Let's take Instagram and TikTok and social media kind of off the table for a second and not get overwhelmed by, oh, well, I have 2,000 followers, but they could live anywhere. Let's set that aside. We're going to focus on some free tips that you can take from this video today. I'll start with my free tips and then we'll move into some things that you might have to pay for and implement them however much you want. So the number one tip that I'm going to start with is that you need to optimize your Google presence. And what do I mean by that? In another video, I talked about making sure that you are marketing yourself in all of the search engines. So let's say we need a pressure washer. So we're just going to go to pressure washer and type in near me, type it into Google. Obviously there's going to be some sponsored advertising here, but I'm going to actually scroll down and take a look at the map here. So obviously I live in Redding, California. So I am looking for pressure washing near me. If your business is not listed here in the places area, then that is like what I would say should be your number one priority, because a lot of people are going to Google and using it as a way to find people to hire for different projects or products to buy. So if you don't have anything like this, that is your number one thing that you can do. It's free to get your business listed on Google. You need to have accurate information on there, the address, business hours, phone number, any contact information. It can also be like a hub for your website, your social media. You can put pictures of all of your staff, pictures of your building. You can link videos to like previous projects that you've done. And it is super important for it to stay updated. You would be really surprised at the amount of businesses that I've tried to find, or places that I've tried to find that I need to go, that don't have a phone number listed, or they don't have business hours. And as a customer, as a consumer, that is vital for you to have on there. Let's say you have a listing and you have reviews and you don't have accurate contact information, you are going to immediately lose customers. You're going to immediately lose foot traffic of local people who are trying to find you. So if you don't have that updated and you're not taking the time to make sure that it looks right and people can find you, call you, contact you, get on your website, that should be your number one priority, and it is free. Number two, we're gonna leverage our search engine optimization. I feel like we talk about SEO and it is just like this big ambiguous term that nobody understands. And basically it's just, you need to optimize your website and what you're posting on your website in order for it to like pull up on Google when people type in those keywords. So it's basically all it is it's just, you pick the right keywords that people are searching for, like let's say things to do in Redding, California. So I'm gonna Google that. Let's type in things to do Redding, California. And this is something I actually did when I first moved here. And obviously we're gonna have like actual listings of like paid ticket items. I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for an article that somebody wrote. They can vouch for the things that they're recommending because they've tried it. So we've got TripAdvisor, we have visitredding.com, Reddit. I'm gonna scroll down a little bit further. I'm looking for a blog, I'm looking for an article because that was written by a real person, somebody who's not on staff for the city of Redding, somebody who's not like paid to do this. They discovered it, they're writing about it from their own point of view. So let's just click on this Bridges and Balloons. I have no idea who this person is. They might be a travel blogger. They might do this for a living, but I'm going to sit and read their article here. They're going to tell me where to stay at. They're going to tell me what things to do, where to go, where to hike, what all is around me. And I'm going to take that information, depending on what is listed there, and either add it to my trip or add it to my itinerary or buy those products. The same thing can be said about best restaurants. So let's say I'm looking for a restaurant here in Redding, California. The same exact thing's going to happen. So I don't necessarily just want to see the Google listings in this particular case. I want to hear what somebody has to say about the vibe, the atmosphere, the quality of the food, the service. And so I'm going to go to an article and I'm going to read it. So here's chooseredding.com, best restaurants in Redding, traveling newlyweds. That's what I'm looking for right here. It looks like they have a combination of coffee shops and restaurants and all of these different places that you can get food. And I'm gonna sit here and read about what they have to say. And then depending on what that is, I'm gonna make a decision to either buy those products, add that to my itinerary, or stop in there. And this is what I mean by leveraging your SEO. So let's say that you have a website and it is a service-based website, it's a product-based website. You can create an article or a blog within your website, one or two. You don't really have to have a ton, but stay within your niche and review your product and use the keywords that people would be typing into Google in order to find you. So if you sell skincare products in your local town, then you need to create an article and use location-based language within the article. Don't just sell the product, don't just review the product. Say that you're interviewing somebody and you're using that as the article for why your product that you're selling is phenomenal. That's all great. You should do that. But you should include the location of where your store is and also talk about the whole experience of the store and why the product is in your store, why they chose you. Include all of that in there. And then a lot of websites, depending on if you're using a service like Wix or GoDaddy, they have AI included within that website system that you're using in order to basically vet the keywords that you are putting in there and make sure that it's going to be leveraged for what you're trying to accomplish. So make use of the AI assistant and write articles on your website. Yes, it's tedious. If you have an administrative person that has a gift in writing, if you have a marketing person, then this is something that they can implement on your site. Just add an additional page to your website and create a blog in there. It's not hard. It takes maybe a couple minutes. And I hate to say it, but with the addition of ChatGPT, it can almost do it for you. You can proofread the article and make sure that it works for you in terms of the topic and what it is that you're talking about. And then have the Wix AI assistant, GoDaddy AI assistant, make sure that it's being optimized correctly for Google SEO, publish the blog, and then test it on Google. Have some of your friends kind of type in those keywords depending on what it is that you're selling. So if you're selling an experience, then you should go ahead and create an article on your website, best things to do in San Francisco, California, and include your business on there, but then also do other local businesses as well. And then see if that leverages foot traffic to your website of people who are in your area. We're gonna move on to tip number 3. This is another freebie. Another one that I really cannot recommend enough is to engage with your local communities. And that can mean a lot of things, but the number one thing that I would say, and a lot of people don't like this app, they don't want to use it, and so I'll recommend other ones, but you should get involved in Facebook groups. You should really use Facebook groups to your advantage, whether you are using your personal Facebook and you're going into those groups and kind of recommending your business page on there, tagging your business page. You can promote events that your business is holding or hosting, or if you're selling a product, you can do that within those local Facebook groups. Let's say that somebody is looking for a recommendation on one of the things that you offer as a business, then you can be in that Facebook group. It's all about timing, honestly. It's a great place to network yourself and your business within people who live in your area. And a lot of them are things like San Francisco community or subdivision community, citywide community, countywide communities. So really leveraging these groups can be amazing because somebody can put in one of the groups an ISO, in search of a barber for something, or in search of a DJ for a local wedding, or depending on whatever service it is that you provide, you need to be in these groups. You can respond to the comments depending on the rules of the Facebook groups. A lot of them have rules that you can't promote yourself, but you can respond to ISOs, or sometimes you can promote yourself. It just kind of depends. So I'm just going to do a random city in here. So we're going to do Glendale, Arizona, community page. We'll type it into the search bar here. What's up in the community, Glendale community. You can join all of these. A lot of them will need kind of some proof that you live in that area, and that's fine, because if your business is operating there, you're looking for local customers, then you're going to join these pages and you'll have evidence that you live there. So you'll come in here, you'll join the page, and then you can read about all of the things that other people are promoting in that area. Let's say that they have an ISO for a particular service that you have. You can offer that service and kind of just build a network of people who can generate some sort of like foot traffic or curiosity about your brand, potentially follow you. You can cross promote your websites, your Instagram, your TikTok there, and build more followers that are local based customers. Make sure to leverage your Facebook groups. Another one that is also engaging with your local communities, if you're not a Facebook person, if you don't have a Facebook account, it's going to be something called Nextdoor. And it's just another networking hub for local communities. It can be service-based things, businesses, or just like things where people are talking about what's happening in their area. All you do is you just go to nextdoor.com. They also have an app. You can create a free account. And once you get logged in, you can just search for local things. Like here in the search bar right now, I see search for house cleaning, search for lawn service. It's a great way to network your business in another free platform and promote yourself. Also, there are probably going to be ISO ads here that you can respond to as well. You can chat with people. You can invite people to follow you. You can invite people to join the app. It's all up to you, but that is also another free tool. My last free tip is going to be leveraging your social media. And I know that I said we were going to table TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and all that for now. Since we've talked about some of the other important ones that I think are kind of vital before you even build a social media and really focus on that, now we're going to add back in Instagram and all of that. Something that a lot of people don't realize is that social media is quickly becoming like a new search engine for a lot of people. My number one recommendation for social media is, yes, you should have a presence. It should be aesthetic. It should fit with your brand. But as you're posting and using that outlet, make sure that you're using local hashtags. So I'm just going to type in a boutique. So let's say I want to go shopping at a boutique. So I'm going to type in boutique on my phone in Instagram, and I'm going to scroll over to places. And there's a bunch of them that popped up all around me that are showing up, like that are in my area. So let's see, I'm gonna go to Classic Trends Boutique, and there's the map icon right there. And I can scroll through some of their recent posts and basically vet if that's something that is my jam. It's not currently my jam, but if that was somebody's jam, that would be perfect. I'm gonna go back into the search engine area here on Instagram, click on the next one, Apricot Lane Boutique, super cute. And it's basically showing me the store in a format that works for me on Instagram. And the same thing can be done on TikTok as well. So let's go to TikTok, and I'm gonna type in boutique, Redding, California, and the same exact thing here. So Apricot Lane just popped up, which is a very popular boutique here. And then here's one, Grit and Gals Boutique, and then I'm gonna click on that, Small Town Boutique, and I can get my information there. So you wanna make sure that you're using local hashtags, and even in this video on TikTok, she used hashtag Redding, California, hashtag boutique. The same thing is gonna go for you. When you make your post on Instagram or TikTok or whatever it is that you're doing, you are going to use the hashtag of the location. So the city and the state. You're gonna do what niche it is that you're in. So if you're a boutique or pressure washer or plumber, or you do trail rides, I would take a look around you, do your research on Instagram, type in the search engine kind of like similar businesses. So if you are a boutique, look at other boutiques and what they're doing. If you are a pressure washer, look at what other people around you are doing and use those same hashtags so that when other people who are in your local area are looking for that type of service or that type of product, they are going to find you. Now, all of that is well and good, but you also want to make sure that your profile and the posts that you're doing are attention getting, they're aesthetic, and they fit your targeted customer. And we already talked about that in another video. So make sure to go check out those videos if you have additional questions, but ensure that your branding is consistent across all platforms and that you're not going to just kind of like clickbait somebody into your profile, because then that's just going to make them a little confused, maybe a little upset, and then they're going to click away from you and not come back. So make sure that you're leveraging all of these things and that your online profile is something that is going to reel your target audience in and not deter them away from you. We're going to move on from our free tips, and I'm going to get into some things that you can either pay for or you might give away and kind of like lose on an opportunity to profit from it, but it's all a part of networking and getting you more local customers. So our number one thing that is a paid form of networking and a paid way to get local customers is going to be to join your local chamber of commerce. And I cannot recommend this enough to local businesses, and a lot of people are deterred by it because you do have to pay to be a member. You're going to be spending money on advertisements on Facebook or Instagram or Google. Why not just allocate that money to an annual fee to be a part of your Chamber of Commerce? Spend a little less on your advertising in the apps that have billions of users worldwide and allocate that money to an annual fee for your Chamber of Commerce. So I'm just going to go to my local Chamber of Commerce. A lot of chambers have like different tiers of membership. So depending on how much you pay, you can get more out of it with networking. You might be found on different things that they wouldn't otherwise advertise you on if you're paying at the more basic tier, when you're paying at the more high level tier. So let's look at the membership levels here that they offer for my city. And it ranges from about $400 a year all the way up to almost $1,200 a year. It looks like down at the bottom, you get to be on like their flyer coupons, you get to be a part of ribbon cutting ceremonies, all for different amounts of time, or you might have to pay an additional fee to be a part of different stuff. You get to be a part of the mailing list use to over 850 members one time or two times, depending on, the tier level. And all of this is going to be different depending on how each Chamber of Commerce advertises their other local businesses. If you don't know what a Chamber of Commerce is, it's basically like a hub for all of the local businesses that are participating members of the chamber to come together for events throughout the year to network, to collaborate, to work on citywide issues together. To kind of like pull their resources together and like solve problems, kind of like networking and social chit chat, but then we're also working on the city and doing a lot of other things. And there's a lot of benefits from it. And the number one benefit is going to be that you're getting promotion for your business from people who live in your area. So yeah, $400 a year sounds like a lot. $625 sounds like a lot. But if you think about how much money you spend per month in advertising on Instagram to 2 billion users worldwide, and you could just pivot that money towards an annual fee, break that apart in months. Are you saving money and getting what you're looking for? Probably. All right, my next tip is going to be to sponsor a local event. Depending on the event, you might have to pay a lot of money. You might have to pay a little bit of money to sponsor the event. There might be one sponsor, there might be 50 sponsors, but I would definitely get involved in, like, if you have a local fair, if you have a charity event or something like that, that you can just pay a little bit of money to have kind of like a table set up to where you can advertise yourself and be present at the event. You can increase visibility for yourself, either for like a small amount of money, like $50 or $1,000, depending on how much you want to spend in sponsorship. It will increase visibility at that event, but then all of those people who are at those events live locally and they have local friends that may not have known that you existed, and then they're going to go tell their friends about it. It's going to be a lot of like word of mouth and community visibility. And it's also going to build rapport with your community. So if you're sponsoring a charity event, like that says a lot about you as a business owner. And so you want to think about like if there's anything that you can get involved in that type of way, it is going to be worth it. It is an upfront cost, but think about like the overall repercussions that are going to be good in terms of the rapport and the credibility that you get as a business owner and the potential community that you're pouring yourself into that maybe never knew that you were there. All right, my next tip is going to be to collaborate with other local businesses. This isn't necessarily something that you might have to pay for, but you might lose out on something. You might cross-promote yourself with another business, or you might have to incentivize something that you're not necessarily getting paid for. It's just an additional little thing that you can have to basically market yourself in somebody else's place of work or their business, kind of like leaving your business cards on somebody's desk to kind of like cross-promote yourself there, and they can do the same for themselves. It's not necessarily that you're losing money, but you're just not gaining anything. So it's like a win-win for both of you. They might charge you a little fee to like be a part of their website, kind of like affiliate marketing type thing. So you just kind of like weigh the cost there and how much traffic they're getting. If you want to be a part of that, if it is going to cost you like a small fee, you can kind of determine the value of that for yourself, but that's definitely something that I would look into. A lot of collaborations are free, like they promote themselves on your website, you promote yourself, but sometimes depending on the size of the company, if they're really successful and they're not really looking to just do free collaborations, you might have to pay, but you can determine the value of that for yourself. All right, so my last and final tip here for this video is going to be for social media, and this isn't necessarily a paid thing either. It's just leveraging your social media, but it is something that you're going to lose. Anytime that a business is looking to build more engagement on their social media, get more local followers, and incentivize participation with their company online, I always recommend doing like a giveaway. And basically you just incentivize likes, follows, and shares with their group of friends. So they'll like this post, they'll comment on it, they'll make sure that they're following you, and they have to share it to like their story or something. And when they do that, they're basically taking your post and putting it in front of however many followers they have that do not know that you're there. And that can generate some curiosity with whatever it is that you're giving away, whatever it is that you're doing, that those people will click on the post from their story, end up on your profile, possibly follow you, potentially become a customer. So it is a little bit of a stretch there to do all of this and hope that they will buy your product, but it builds more awareness, which as we build more brand awareness within our community, we can convert those people who are just browsers into customers. And then as we continue to serve them with excellence, they can become loyal customers. But that's going to start with them kind of discovering you. So doing a giveaway, you can, depending on if you sell a product or you sell a service, you can incentivize likes, follows, shares with giving away one of your services, giving away a product. Let's say that you sell jewelry, you could give away one of your jewelry sets for likes, follows, and shares. And so you want to make sure that you have some sort of audience for this. I wouldn't start with your Instagram with no followers and do a giveaway, because then you might not have any engagement whatsoever. Build it up a little bit with some sort of like interesting post history and have a couple followers at that point, 50 to 100 followers, and then maybe do a giveaway to incentivize more of a following. And you can kind of go from there. But just keep in mind, you are giving away a service. You're not going to make any money from this, but you are profiting in brand awareness and more local customers in the end. A lot of business owners that I know, once they reach a certain level of followers, so let's say they break 1,000 followers, they do a giveaway as like a thank you to all of their followers who have stayed following them and participating in their journey. The same thing goes for when they break 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000, and so on and so forth. And it creates like a constant building of that brand awareness, and more people who are in your area can find you and then purchase your product or your service, and so on. That is the last of my paid / not free marketing tips there for you. Now, I know that this might be overwhelming because depending on what size of a company you are, you may not have a marketing director. You might not have somebody who can implement these sort of tips. They may be helpful, but you don't know how to get started. And that's where a marketing professional can be helpful. If you don't have the ability to implement this type of thing, that's where you can hire somebody to do it for you, get the momentum of it going, and then they can hand it off to you and your team to just kind of like manage and maintain. If you're looking for somebody who can help come in and generate all of this traffic for you, build brand awareness, build community for your business and hand it off to your team, I would look no further than me and my company, Elevate Collective. You can click the link in the description of this video to get more information on all of the packages that I offer, and we can chat there. Make sure to like and comment and subscribe to my channel for more marketing tips for your business. Whether you're a brand new small business, you're just getting started and you have no idea where to go from here, or you're an entrepreneur and you're just kind of like figuring this out, or you've been in business for a long time and you're just looking to improve, make sure that you're a part of this community, and I can't wait to see you next time.